fans just completely distraught.
Michael Jackson dead from an apparent drug overdose.
The nurse comes out and said he didn't make it.
Coming up, who was to blame for the King of Pop's final exit? The doctors.
I have done all I could do.
The prescriptions.
He had 19 aliases, including his own son.
And his frantic call for help.
Tell her that one side of my body is hot and one side of my body is cold.
E! News takes you inside Jackson's desperate battle with insomnia.
They should have had him checked into a hospital.
To find out what killed this music icon.
He said, "I'm really jacked up. I need you to put me down."
This is an E! News special, The Death of Michael Jackson.
Hi everyone, I'm Juliana Rancic. It was a summer shocker when the news spread around the world that Michael Jackson was dead. But Jackson's death was only the beginning of the story. In the next half hour, we're going to take you inside the events that changed entertainment history forever. It is truly a story that will astound you. Thursday, June 25th. Chaos reigned at the rented home of Michael Jackson as the King of Pop lay dying in his bedroom.
Dr. Murray came down the stairs very swiftly and shouted out that something was wrong and was actually calling for Michael's son, Prince.
Dr. Conrad Murray was the last person to see Jackson alive. According to court records, Murray later told police that he found Jackson's lifeless body at 11 a.m. Authorities say Murray waited some 90 minutes before calling 911. Murray's attorney denies this account.
Fire paramedic 33, what is your address of emergency?
Yes, sir. I have a gentleman here that needs help, and he's not breathing.
He's not breathing?
Yes, he's not breathing, sir.
All right. Do you have him? Is he on the floor? Where's he at right now?
He's on the bed, sir. He's on the bed.
Okay, let's get him on the floor. I'm going to help you with CPR right now, okay?
Yes, we have a personal doctor here with him, sir.
Oh, you have a doctor there?
Yes. He's pumping his chest, but he's not responding to anything, sir. Please.
Okay. We're on our way.
4 minutes later, 12:30 p.m. that day, the paramedics arrived. They work on Jackson for 42 minutes.
At 1:14 p.m., Michael Jackson's body arrives at UCLA Medical Center and a team of doctors try to resuscitate him.
Frank, the Leo, the manager arrives, and they're waiting for the family.
So we're out there for a while. It's a good 20 minutes. And the nurse comes out and said, well, he didn't make it. I said, what? Are you sure?
At 2:26 p.m., Michael was pronounced dead. He was only 50 years old. Jackson's brother Jermaine broke the shocking news to the public.
My brother, the legendary King of Pop, Michael Jackson, passed away on Thursday, June 25th.
Once the news started breaking, everything went kind of crazy. There was mayhem. At the hospital, the fans started arriving, and there were groups of fans all over the place, holding candles, holding pictures of Michael. They were singing his songs. Others were crying and just completely distraught at the news.
Los Angeles police detectives launched an immediate investigation into Jackson's death. The pop star had been in LA to rehearse for an upcoming concert series.
The This Is It tour was a huge deal. This was Michael Jackson's comeback, but also his farewell to his fans.
The night before he died, Michael was in rare form.
People at the rehearsal tell me that Michael was so on that night that it was electric.
At the end of the rehearsal, he came down. He said, I really feel good. And Frank, we're going to do these 50 shows. It's our time again. And he kissed me on the cheek and he went home.
Early Friday morning, according to an affidavit, Conrad Murray gave Jackson sedatives for sleeplessness, but the drugs failed to induce sleep. Then, sometime after 7:30 a.m., Jackson was given a lethal dosage of the powerful anesthetic propofol. Sherilyn Lee, Michael's personal nutritionist, told investigators the singer had previously asked her for the drug, Diprivan, to fight his chronic insomnia.
Michael had called and asked her if she could get Diprivan for him, and she had refused. She said absolutely not.
Diprivan, the brand name for propofol, is widely used in operating rooms to induce unconsciousness.
He said, find me an anesthesiologist. I don't care how much money they want. Find me an anesthesiologist to be with me here overnight and give me this IV.
Dr. Lee came forward over her concern that Jackson may have obtained Diprivan after she refused to prescribe it.
It was the first time that we in the media had heard anyone use the word Diprovan in relation to Michael Jackson, and it probably helped investigators really pinpoint and look at what might have killed Michael.
Surgeons I've talked to say it is a very safe drug when used properly, but you have to have ventilators and oxygen toximeters to monitor your level of breathing because it depresses your respiration.
He said he was having a hard time sleeping at night. I asked him if he was taking anything, if he needed any help, and he got very indignant and said, no, I would never do anything that would harm my children. He said, I love them too much.
Daddy? Yeah? Thank you for giving me ice cream. You're the best dad in the whole world, and I love you.
In July, the Icon's dermatologist, longtime friend Dr. Arnold Klein, spoke out denying accusations that he supplied the drugs that may have killed Jackson.
I had records of every single medicine because I diagnosed him with lupus, but I did not know that he was getting treated by any other physician.
On July 14th, E! News was there when Assistant Chief Coroner Ed Winter entered Dr. Klein's Beverly Hills dermatology office. Over an hour later, Winter came out with an attorney for Dr. Klein and held an impromptu press conference.
There's been rumors that Dr. Klein is not cooperating, but that's not true. Dr. Klein has been and is continuing to cooperate with the coroner's office in their investigation into the death of Michael Jackson. We're not here for medication. We're looking for some documentation that Dr. Klein's agreed to provide to us.
Arnold Klein admitted that Michael Jackson had told him that he was on Diprovan. He had said that Diprovan was the only thing that he could take that would get him to sleep.
Joining Dr. Klein on the list of docs being questioned was plastic surgeon Dr. Lawrence Copland. The assistant coroner went to his Beverly Hills office with a subpoena. A spokesperson for Dr. Copland told E! We're fully cooperating with the investigation. But Dr. Conrad Murray remained at the center of the investigation. In May 2009, Jackson asked Murray to be his personal physician on the upcoming concert tour.
He said, make sure you tell AG, I want my own doctor. I said, well, who's your doctor? And he said, Dr. Murray.
But Murray asked for a small fortune to care for the pop star.
Dr. Murray wanted $5 million for the 8 months that we'd be gone. And I said, no, that's too much money. And I said, offer him $150 and tell him Michael said that's the number. And he accepted it.
For the next 2 months, Murray spent much of his time with Jackson, including the night before Jackson died.
He called Dr. Murray at the house and said, I'm really jacked up. I'm just so excited. I'm not going to be able to sleep. I need you to put me down. And that was the beginning of the end.
Dr. Murray told investigators that he administered 25 milligrams of propofol to Jackson intravenously to help induce sleep.
What we do know from eyewitness reports of that day was that Dr. Murray wasn't with Michael Jackson the whole time.
If he were left hooked up to propofol without being monitored, that is not a good sign.
When Murray returned to Jackson's bedroom, Michael wasn't breathing. Coming up, investigators make a shocking discovery.
He had 19 aliases, including his own son.
Plus, the King of Pop's startling premonition.
He told his daughter Paris that he might not make it till Father's Day.
And later, Michael's desperate cry for help.
He was very frantic, and he said, Michael needs to see you right away.
Welcome back to this E! News special. I'm Juliana Rancic. Soon after Michael Jackson's sudden death, authorities focused their attention on the pop star's supply of prescription drugs. As details emerged, the mystery deepened.
24 hours after Michael Jackson had died, already investigations had begun. We know that the coroner's office showed up to Michael's rented mansion and took away 2 big bags of evidence.
Those items have been taken into custody as evidence.
What kind of stuff?
Some medications.
Officials also raided the Houston, Texas clinic of Dr. Conrad Murray, the cardiologist and Michael's personal physician.
warrants. If you get a search warrant here at the doctor's office and at his home.
You're looking for documents in relation to the death of Michael Jackson?
That's correct.
Investigators were probing Murray's office for evidence of, quote, prescribing to an addict.